Welcome to the Builders Table, sponsored by Pace Mentors. We are so excited to be on this show where we are interviewing and having a discussion, an open talk with entrepreneurs that are impacting the community and the people that we serve and the people that are around us. In the show today, we are so privileged to have with us Mercy Kirui, who is going to be telling us a little bit about herself, how she started her journey. And so we are so happy today to have Mercy Kirui. I'm your host, Godfrey Mwenda. Karibu sana Mercy.
Thank you. Thank you. It's nice to be here. And thank you for welcoming me to this show. I look forward to having a good conversation with you today. I can say it's been an exciting journey, and because I'm a Christian and I'm a born again person, I can say it has been a testimony.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually a testimony. I mean, like sharing that journey, I can just say it has been God leading me from one step to the other.
Great. Mm-hmm. And you're looking forward to hearing that story, how God has been with you, what has been your ups, what has been your downs. So our viewers, sit back, relax, and let's hear the story. Yeah. And carry your nuggets, carry your story. Listen the conversation in between the lines that is going to impact and inspire you. Karibu sana. Let's get to know who Mercy is. Who is Mercy?
All right. So Mercy. So my name is Mercy Kirui. I am a mother. First of all, before being a mother, I am married. I am married to one person, Mike Michira. So my other name is Mercy Kirui Michira. So Michira is my husband, and I am a mother of two children, Baraka and Pendo, and I'm born again. I am a Christian. I love the Lord. I am a minister of the gospel. I minister through singing. And beyond that, I'm also a publisher. So I publish books. I would tell you something, by the way. You know, like being a publisher today, that's not something that I looked forward to. So ukiniuliza like, unajua ile lenye ati what's your dream job? Mm-hmm. It was not publishing, by the way. But I'm here. I'm here, and I think today I look back. You know, like those things that you're resisting, but God has a reason for everything. Now today, when I look back, and I'm like, thank you, God, for putting me in this journey. Though I resisted it at the beginning, I will tell you about it.
Yes. That's good.
Yes.
Thanks,
yes,
Mercy.
Yeah.
Great. So tell us, what is it that you're doing?
Well, so as I said, I'm a publisher. Right now, I'm the CEO and the founder of Tai AfroPress. I work with, so I have a team of about, I can say like the full-time employees, we have 2 full-time employees. I'm a co-founder, so we have another founder of Tai AfroPress. Tai AfroPress was created to support self-published authors. And by the way, beyond being a publisher, I'm also an author. I author children books. So I've been authoring children books for more than, I've done more than 20 books now. So I'm sure audience and those who are viewing us today, if you have seen a book on the bookshelf, especially those like the kindergarten books, any book written Mercy Kirui, that's me. So yes, so back to Tai AfroPress. So we work with independent authors, and I have been in the publishing industry for more than 13 years now, or rather maybe 14 years in publishing. When I started, the way I transitioned from university to work environment was, so I started like doing my internship in a publishing house. And so that is how I sort of landed into publishing. When I was in how I got there, in campus, I was at Moy University, and so I did publishing and media studies. Okay, so when I was going to campus, when I was going to campus, I really didn't know, because I was going to do information science. And so information science is so, you know, it's so
broad.
It's so broad. I mean, like, what does it even entail? And mimi sikungoja ile government kuitwa. So I went through private sponsorship, and my uncle actually, because they didn't want me to stay home. You know, like those days when if you're going to a private or rather a public institution, you had to wait. Yes, for a year plus, and sometimes even 2 years, you know, for some. But for me, when I finished, by the grace of God, I got sponsorship. And so, and they didn't want me to stay at home for the whole year. So they decided to take me to university prior to that. So I went to uni in like, because I finished Form 4 in 2007. In 2008, I was already in campus. And so I went in, I was looking for courses that I wanted to do. I went, and then I landed in doing information sciences. And so nilienda kujua what it is when I was in campus.
You didn't know what the thing was.
I didn't know. Well, I had seen the papers, but you know, like you're reading all these things, there's too much. And honestly, you know, like what I had an idea of, like when I had, you know, there is publishing in media studies, I was more inclined to media studies because I loved being on TV. I loved people on TV. And unajua, I think tulikuwa na ile pressure yenye wazazi walikuwa wanasema ati, you know, my grandmother when he used to watch TV, alikuwa anasema, siku moja mtakuwa kwa TV, unaona? So nilikuwa na hiyo pressure, like one day I want to be on TV, and probably, you know, look at what God is doing. Because today I'm in TV. I'm in TV. So I didn't end up in media the way I wanted. So I was more inclined to going to do media studies, and because Moi University was also really known in terms of bringing up and having you know, experienced students who are most of them actually, most of the top media personalities are from Moi University.
Yeah, true.
And that is the School of Information Sciences.
Yes.
It was an organized school, by the way. I think the cleanest school, the most organized, the buildings were, you know, top notch. I think it was amazing from that point of view. But now, so after I finished campus, what used to happen is...
So you still studied the information science?
I still did information science because I mean, like, you've been sponsored, and that's the course you've been. So you go do that course. Utajisort uko mbele. So me niliingia, nikajua what it is. It had a lot of things. It has library studies. It has, you know, IT as well. There is now publishing and media. So all those things. And so while I was doing that, I was like, no, I'm not going to library. I'm not going to do classification. Where classification is another thing for libraries. But then there is IT. I chewed the first time I went to programming class. So I said, no, I'm not going to that one.
Yes.
So I chose publishing and media studies with this plan of one day I'll get to the TV. And make my grandmother happy. I hope my grandmother will get a chance to watch this so that, you know. And so I did publishing and media studies. So when we finished, normally in that university, that course, that specific school, walikuwa nakutafutia internship. So it was really nice. So in fact, they used to look for the internship prior to, like, when you're almost finishing the fourth year.
Your fourth year.
Yes. Ndio ukitoka, si tuko tunafanya internship after 4. Ukishamaliza.
Nice. Not third years like most of the other campuses.
No. Like third year was no. So we used to do our nini after. So and I think it's a really good plan because imagine umeshaenda kufanya internship,
you can just
be absorbed into the system rather than umefanya internship, umemaliza katika rudi campus. So by the time unarudi tena so when we were getting the internships, so they took our names and we chose, okay, you write media if you want to go on TV, you know, radio or TV broadcasting or print broadcast, where, you know, writing articles for newspapers and all that. So me, with my high nini, I knew what I wanted. Media. TV. And I wanted TVs to be specific. And then, so shock on me. That was not God's plan. So I got out, and I remember we were about, I don't know how many people in media. I think we were about like almost 20 or 15 people. And let me tell you, all of them got, except
with the exception
me.
Of you.
Na nilienda paka, unajua tulikuwa tunaitwa nini, because they used to send our CVs and our, to media houses. And then they call you for interviews. Yeah. So me nikaitwa interview, nikaenda, I think I went to 2 interviews, and I was very specific, and I wanted to go to Royal Media Services, and I went for my interview at Royal Media Services. And everyone else was taken except Mercy Kirui.
Oh, poor girl.
And I was like, God, really? And I was, and at that time, the way sometimes we serve God in a way that nimekuserve Mungu, sasa wewe cheza kama wewe. Like I've done my part, so you do your part. Yes. So me, I was like, sasa hii nini. So I remember I went back home, and that day I was so discouraged. So, because I didn't even, like in my head, I didn't even plan for a plan B. So
you're so fixed.
I was so fixed on TV. So I knew, like, sasa nikikosa hii, nitaanzaje for the next one, because you see, like, once the university has looked for the internship, ukikosa, sasa hiyo ingine wewe ujisort. Na unajua sasa, because it was part of my studies, I had to do it. And so I went back home, I cried. I think I received an email, those regrets email. I cried at home. I remember crying back. Like that night, I barely slept. I was asking God, so what's this now? I really need to get a place. At that time, I used to stay with my uncle in Kileleshwa. And so one day, I just, I started, thinking about this option of publishing. And now I was like, okay, I'm not into it, but let me just try and see what will come from it, So mi nikaanza kutafuta. By the way, I remember, I didn't give up. First of all, I didn't give up about TV.
About the TV.
So I still woke up, I think the next day, and I walked to Nation Center. Unajua hapo town.
Yes.
So nilifika hapo Nation Center. Unajua wale watchmen, kama hauna appointment,
you're going nowhere.
You're not going anywhere. They're like, madam, unaenda wapi?
So you are blocked at the gate.
I'm blocked at the gate. And then they're like, and then I'm like, I've come, I'm looking for internship. And then they're like, oh, you're looking for internship? Wacha karatasi yako hapa, acha CV yako hapa. So unajuanga tu, of course, ukiacha tu CV hapo, there's nothing else. It's a done deal. So I went back. I think I remember that evening. I also did, I went to look for their emails. I started looking, look, those media houses and their career portals and trying to drop my CVs and, all that stuff. But it never worked. I used to just get, all these regrets emails. My friend, I got almost like 20 of those. And so at some point, you can get really discouraged.
True.
So that is the point where I now started thinking, like, this is part of my studies and I have to do something anyway. So I decided to go to look for publishing houses. And so I started looking online. So who are the publishers, I went to Longhorn at that time. I went to East Africa Educational Publishers. So for them, especially for them, I just did emails and I used to send my CVs there. Of course, no one ever got back to me. So there is this one publisher that I decided, okay, I saw their niliona location yao. Hata sikuandikia email na sikuwapigia simu. I just walked in. So they used to be in Gara. And this publisher is called Queenex Publishers. So I went to Queenex. They used to be in Gara. So I walked in and I met it was a small office. So I met some people there and they were like, Mercy, of course they didn't know my name.
You introduced yourself.
So I introduced myself. I said I'm from Moi University. I'm looking for internship. I am not even looking forward to getting anything. I just want experience, And so they were like, so do you have editing experience? Remember, when I was in campus, I was so fixed on TV.
Yes.
So I didn't even concentrate. Yes, I didn't even bother on these things about like kufikiria plan B, publishing. So they asked me, so do you have, you know, some experience? And I'm like, okay, I'm just a student. I'm just looking for internship. The experience is what you guys have. So me, I've just come here. Give me an opportunity and I will get experience. Well, I can say it was actually God. So they were like, okay, bring your CV. They looked at my CV and you know what? They told me come next week. And so I started my internship there.
Oh, so you just got your internship?
Imagine,
wow.
I just got it like that. Like the following, I think I went like on Wednesday this week, and then they asked me some questions, and then they were like, you come back on Monday. Then I went on Monday very early in the morning. So when I went back, okay, I actually went, I thought I was going to get feedback on my, you know,
application.
So when, yeah, I'm on my application, but me vile nilifika, they told me, oh, okay, here's a computer, or if you have a laptop, you can still use it, but you can start here. This so there was someone there who was doing editorial. That time they were doing children books. So I went in and we started doing children books. So we did children books. I stayed, I think, at Queenex for about 3 or 4 years.
Oh. Or even after internship, they still kept you.
So they kept me. So what happened is I did my internship for about 3 weeks. My supervisor came. I was supervised there. So I was able to finish my paper and submit my internship report. So I graduated at least that year. And then now, so after my internship, they were like, okay, we can extend your internship. So my internship was extended. And then after that, of course, now we started talking about, okay, let's talk about employment, because now I was the assistant editor for children books specifically. So I used to do editing and also layout and design. And I started enjoying, like, especially doing the layout for children books. It was really fun. And then the best part, I think, with children books is once the books have been, you know, like we've received the manuscripts from the authors, we've done what we need to do, you know, turning those manuscripts. And those days we used to receive, I don't know about today in publishing houses, those days we used to receive the manuscripts zimeandikwa na kalamu by hand. Yes, so you need to type all that work. So me, I didn't mind, because, you know, like this was part of the experience, and it started becoming fun. So like, you know, and then children books have a lot of illustrations, so you have to do what we call image descriptions, like for the illustration briefs for the illustrator. So that's part of what I used to do, assisting the chief editor to get the books out. Now the fun part was when after we have now packaged the books, we have done the layout, it has the illustrations and all that. We used to go to the field to get feedback from the teachers. Now, this is the part that I felt like it was really nice for me. So I used to go to schools, ECD schools, and I sit down with teachers. We walk through the books together with them. I get feedback from them, and that helped us to be unique. And to date, I can say Queenex Publishers has really published some of the amazing kindergarten children books. In fact, like some of the longest encyclopedias that are still in the market are from Queenex Publishers. Of course, encyclopedias at some point were banned, but you know, some parents have just said we need this, especially during the holidays. It's been helpful. Now that is when I now started doing, because at some point I realized, okay, of course with time nikareziwa nikakuwa chief editor. I had my own office, and so I used to be the one like in charge of the manuscripts, and now like packaging of the books and all that. So I'm managing a team actually.
The thing you didn't like now,
the thing I didn't. Yeah, imagine, how I think that God has some humor, honestly, because this is something that I did not actually. It was not anywhere in my dreams, but now that's what God did. He turned things around for me.
By then you forgot about TV completely.
No, I forgot about TV. In fact, after Mimi, I was amongst the few that were employed immediately after internship.
Wow.
Because my friends who went to the media, they finished the internship. After they finished, they had to go and hustle to get jobs. So I became very lucky. You know, like that. Now that is what I was saying. Like, you know, sometimes you're so fixated on something, and yet God, you know, God anatuangalianga sometimes anasema, you're not going there where you want to go, because He has a plan for you, and that's what He says in Jeremiah 29:11, and that's something that, you know, my mom used to have that kahang, you know, that scripture in the house, and it always, at least it was an encouragement for me, and I knew, even if I'm not going to this media, yes, it was the desire of my heart, but God has said, not now, at least not now. So still it had a plan. So now I started enjoying my publishing.
Now you're
work.
there, you're sitting, and
I'm
you're working as a chief editor.
Yes, I'm a chief editor.
Your mind has transitioned.
Wow. And you know what? This is when I started writing books. Because I realized when I was getting books from the authors, Maze, I used to do a total overhaul of some of those
the whole thing from
because
fresh.
yes, I struck a lot of those things because they were like, they don't fit what this market is looking for, because I was the bridge. I was ideally the bridge, because you have the author, you have the editor, and you have the user, who is basically the reader, or the user in this case being the child. So, and you talk to the teachers and they're like, no, don't give us that, change this thing. So I ended up doing total overhaul of some of that work until I was like, no, say just write this books. So I started writing books. And
so I took an opportunity there.
I took an opportunity because now I was like, I talked to our boss and I told him, I mean, like, some of these books, manuscripts that we're receiving are not up to par. Can we write our own books? And that's how we started writing our own books. So we wrote the books, we published, and that's how I started now publishing since the 844 system up to date. I'm still writing for children books. I'm still writing for Kenya. I'm going to Uganda, and I'm now my books, by the way, were selected for use in Malawi curriculum. Nice. So it's been God. So that's why I can say it has been a testimony, and my journey in publishing has been a testimony. Now I exited publishing. Part of it because
So you stayed with Queenex for 2 years?
No, I stayed for about 3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years.
And then I started getting this urge of, like, because I was doing a lot of layout, designing and all that. I started having this urge of, you know, that's when we had the digital era, you know, taking, you know, the transition. So I started thinking about the digital world, and especially in regard to books. And then I got an urge of, like, I really need to transition and do something more cooler than this. And God opened a door. So I went to another organization, and we did digital publishing. We used to do ebook distribution, and I joined in. I was the one in charge. Now it was like God raised me from one level to another level, because now in this new job that I got, I used to manage publishers. Now the publishers that I visited, I remember that Uko Chidi.
The building blocks now.
Yes. Now I started managing them, like managing their content and helping them to, together with the company, of course, digitize the books and get them to digital formats and distributing them online. That was the season when Kenya was starting the one laptop per child program. Yes. And so we were taking advantage of that. Of course, it really didn't pick up the way we really wanted, but it was still a good transition, because now it switched off and it switched on, and it put Kenya in, I would say, in another level, because in Africa, especially in the continent. So I went in and started doing that. So I did that for about 10 years. Digital world. But because it was still somehow still related to books. And so through that, I got other opportunities. I got, you know, more experience, I would say. And it was challenging, but it was also it really expanded me as well, in terms of, like, you know, getting to move from just being in that room doing editing to another room where you now have to be, like, do more with other people. Now you're not even locked in a room.
Yes. Are you still writing this time, or you've stopped writing?
No, I continued writing, by the way. I did not stop. I did not stop. In fact, I used to take advantage of the days that I used to be in maternity because those are the days that I had the time. And most of the time when I write books, I write them at night.
Oh,
I do write at night.
Yeah, okay.
I think my thinking and my creativity,
it starts in the night.
It switches on very well at night. And so I write a lot. I still continue to write books at that time. I didn't stop. So I used to write for that publisher and other publishers who were interested.
Still the children books.
Still the children books. So I still stayed within the ECD. So yeah. So now while I was still doing digital, then that company also started a publishing, the publishing business of it, like part of it. And I through that company, of course, I also got a chance to travel a lot to different, especially to international book fairs. And while I traveled to these international book fairs, they're big, humongous book fairs out there. And so I have gone to, I can say I have gone, at least I have attended the world's largest book fair, and that is in Germany. And so while I was there, I learned something very, I noted something very significant that was missing. Because when it's
that's in Germany.
Now that's when I was in Germany, because I went to Germany for about 2 weeks, and there was something that I noted, and I came back home and I was like, I was not settled. I was like, no, we need to do something different in Kenya if we want to make business between the continent and the rest of the world. And this was through what we call rights selling of books. Now, so when I was in Germany and we visited quite a number of publishers, we went to Berlin, we went, we were in Frankfurt, and we visited quite a number of publishers. And a lot of them were saying, we don't know anyone in the continent that we can connect with, and that is Africa. And it's because we do not have enough literary agents. So literary agents are the agents who are now they represent authors, they represent publishers from the continent. You now pitch the books globally. That's what I was telling you earlier. So my work right now, so when I transitioned from employment, I decided to become, I really wanted, first of all, to become a literary agent so that I can bridge.
After the 10 years, now you've seen a gap.
I saw a gap.
You saw a gap.
I saw a gap.
So now you're jumping to fill in this gap.
I was jumping in to fill that gap. Of course, I knew it was quite a huge task for me. And it was not easy transition, from employment to being independent. It's quite, And so I decided to become a literary agent. And so I looked for people, at least I had ideas in mind of, people that could support me, help me, hold my hands, when I want to move and all that. So I took up that role, and I started my own company. So that is how I started Tai AfroPress. So I started it first as a literary agency. And I worked with other literary agents, just, working with them both in the continent and globally. So my work is to represent authors. Some of these books, I represent them globally. And so what I do is that I pitch these books. The main goal for right selling is to identify a publisher in Germany, in US, in Europe, who can publish your book in their continent. And distribute your book and make your book available in that market. Yes, instead of selling, a lot of authors who want to sell books globally, they have to send books. Unajua sasa una print huku, una ship, una send hard copies. So now we are trying to break that. And most of the time, especially very good books, and I would say a lot of books that sell well are majorly fiction novels, and because people want to also learn more about the continent. They want to learn the history, the culture, about the continent. And so that is how now, I decided to take up that role and, pitch books to, I'm still learning. It's not easy because it takes a while even to get a deal for selling rights. And when you get a deal,
let's put it a comma there,
yes.
Mercy. This is quite interesting, viewer. I'm sure that you're following through at the builder's table to hear how Mercy built her business and how she's been able to transition. Now she's transitioning from employment and she's getting to a global space in publishing and getting all the other publishers.